It's knocking on a bit for light now, so I've just managed to get a row of Desiree potatoes up, and this is the harvest there. Not bad, 4 metre row, 8 plants. So I'll give these away and see what total will come up with. Whew, I'm a bit tired now. Anyway, the soil's really nice and fine. The potatoes do a really good job of, breaking up all the soil, so it's nice and fine. I've just been using that spade because usually when I put the fork in, I usually get a couple straight through speared. So by doing it that way, I get quite a good clean harvest. So I've had to throw about £2 away due to the sun turning them green, but overall it's been a nice little harvest. Right then, into the squash area, and as you can see there's a lot of the squashes which have died back now. The marrows in the background, they've also gone. There's a few of the squashes which need to still turn and toughen up before they can go into storage, but it's been a fantastic crop, it really has. As you can see, it's absolutely littered with them. I'm not so sure how many I've actually grown. I think it was 8 plants, and I've already took 8 squashes already, so I'm still left with quite a bit, nice and solid. So they're doing very well, and I think I'm going to come down it next couple of days, and the ones what are ready, then I'll definitely be harvesting and cutting off. They're nice and peachy beige colour, but they're perfectly sized squashes. They are there, absolutely lovely, really are. Plenty of soups, nice little bell shapes there, plenty of soups to be made, and a nice little harvest. There's a few under there as well which have made its way over to the fruit bushes which are hiding in the undergrowth, so there's probably about another 4 or 5 under there. But just on initial viewing, I'd say there's a good 25 here, maybe 30, and like I say, I've already picked a few there so previously, so there's a lot of scoop to be made this winter. So this is a squash area. Well, it's now time to start planting the garlic. It's getting on for the back end of the year now. It's late October. I planted some a few years ago, and I grew some for about 3 or 4 years continuously on the trot, and it was my own cloves for seed. So I had a couple of years stint where I didn't grow it really because it didn't really seem to do much, but I'm going to try it in here anyway. I've put a few inches of layer relief mould, and then I've topped it with some nice fine compost. What I need to do now, just to finish off the preparation stage, is to add a bit of the onion fertiliser. You've probably seen a few gardeners on YouTube use it. There's a couple of chaps down here on this allotment what use it as well, and they recommended me using it. And then obviously I've seen a few videos recently where some other gardeners on YouTube have used it too, so I think I'll give it a go and we'll see what happens. A couple of days later now then, and I'm about to plant the garlic in. I've applied the fertiliser, and these are the ones I've got, Casablanca. There we go. So when you get them, they're just being like 3 bulbs as such. So it's just about really separating the cloves from the bulb. Okay, so now I've just stripped down the paper tissue of the garlic bulb, and I've just exposed the cloves such as these. So what you do then is just take each individual clove from the bulb, and you'll see they've got a basal plate on one end and like a growing shoot on another. Now when you plant these, you plant them basal plate first, so they'll sit in like that. But obviously you need to plant them anything from about 4 to 6 inches deep and about 6 inches wide. So what I like to do here is get them all level on the top of the soil, and then I like to just plant them when I'm ready. I'm all set ready now then, so all I'm going to do is just really slowly and gently push these right into the soil. Now the soil is that fine and well cultivated that I'll just push these in without doing any damage to the basal plate. I'd normally say not to do this, but like I say, with how soft and laid the soil is, it really won't do any damage to them whatsoever. Now I've noticed a couple of them have already started sprouting, which is really good to see. So they are ready to go in, and as we're now into early November, I thought I'd best get them planted out, seeing as I've got a bit of a window of opportunity dodging the showers. So I'm just going to continue doing this then, and I'll be back with you shortly. Right, so all the garlic is planted now, 24 of them, so hopefully I'll get a good crop next year. They should come up in no time at all. We've been having some quite mild days and a couple of wet ones, so it'll soon bring it through. I had put some cloches over the top just to give the soil a bit of warmth, and now I've just inserted some of this cross-sectional grid on it because I'm sick of the cats scratching everything out what I put in. They've done it numerous times this year, so a bit of protection is certainly in order. So hopefully that should do the trick, and I'll start seeing a couple of sprouts coming up very soon. So then, it's the 6th of November today. We've just had bonfire last night and Halloween last week. So a lot of the pumpkins were used for Halloween, what I had, and also a lot of the squash were used to make a nice soup for yesterday's bit of a gathering we had, and the soup went down extraordinarily well. So all I'm going to do now is just pick the remaining set of squash, and hopefully I'll still have a few good ones which I can then keep in store over the winter. So that's all the squash picked, and as you can see there's a right variety of all different shapes and sizes. So in total anyway, what I've previously picked and today, it takes it up to 38 squash. That's off of 8 plants, so that's a cracking yield and an excellent return, I'd say. And like I said, there's been a variety of shapes and sizes. One here what's shaped like a pepper, and then you've got an absolute monster like that. I mean, that's my little travel cup, so you can a bit of scale there, or my hand, and it's quite a big one. So anyway, it's been a successful year for the squash. The variety what I used was Hunter, and they did better than the F1 Hawk variety which I did the previous year. So I think I'll be growing these again and paying them off on people to make loads of soup. So that's it for down this section of the garden. I'm just going to go up to where the asparagus ferns are, as I'm planning on just cutting them down before it gets too dark. So this little bit of a muddle is where the asparagus is, and as you can see the ferns have well and truly now died off, and they'll be ready for cutting down and then adding to the bonfire just to get rid of some waste. And also the sweet corn, now that's come to an end. There are only a couple of little cobs left. They just want digging up, drying out again on the fire, and then they can just get burnt. So I'm just going to crack on with these now, these asparagus ferns, and I'll be back with you shortly. I'm just about losing the light now. It's 4:45 and it's getting quite dark. I don't know if you can just see, it does look a bit grim, but believe you me, it does look darker than it appears on the camera. So I've done all the ferns now, there's just all this area to weed. Hopefully by the next video I'll bring to you all these couple of beds will all be done, sweet corn will be out, and it'll look nice and tidy. Blackberries cut right back, any new trailers tied in, ready for next year's fruit, and put this section to bed for winter. That's it for this evening and over the last week or two. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.